All right, let's dive into one of the most clever, most brilliant detective stories ever written. We're about to take a deep look at a true masterclass in mystery, Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express.
You know, this quote right here, this is pretty much Hercule Poirot in a nutshell. It's this idea that no matter how crazy or baffling the clues seem, there has to be a logical answer, even if that answer seems, well, unbelievable. And believe me, in this story, the truth is way more impossible than you could ever guess.
Okay, so first up, the setup. This is a story that basically wrote the book on the perfect locked room mystery. So, let's set the scene. You've got the world's greatest detective, Hercule Poirot, on the super glamorous train, rolling through a snowy landscape. Then bam, a massive snowdrift stops the train dead in its tracks. It's completely isolated. Nobody can get on. More importantly, nobody can get off. It's the ultimate locked room, right? A closed circle of suspects with absolutely nowhere to go.
And just like that, this elegant trip turns into a full-blown crime scene. The very next morning, a rich American passenger, a guy who had actually tried to hire Poirot for protection, is found murdered. And get this, his compartment door was locked and chained from the inside. The game is officially on. Now, this isn't just any old murder. The crime scene is an absolute mess of contradictions. It's like a puzzle where none of the pieces seem to fit, almost like it was designed to be impossible to solve.
Poirot starts digging, and the evidence is just bizarre. For starters, the victim was stabbed a dozen times, but the wounds are all over the place. Some are deep, some are just scratches, some look like they were made by a man, others by a woman. Then there's a watch in his pocket, stopped at 1:15 a.m. But wait, a conductor heard him speak after 12:30. How can all of these things be true at the same time?
And the confusion just keeps piling on. Poirot finds clues that point in totally opposite directions. There's a man's pipe cleaner on the floor, but also a very delicate lady's handkerchief with the initial H on it. So what are we supposed to believe? Was it a man, a woman, or is somebody just trying to throw him off the scent?
But then he finds it, the one clue the killer tried to destroy. It's just a tiny, charred piece of paper. Using a little bit of ingenuity, Poirot manages to read a few words. Remember little Daisy Armstrong? And this one tiny clue doesn't point to a suspect. It changes the entire story.
So, with the victim's past suddenly in question, everyone on that train is now a suspect. And what a group they are. We're talking about a train full of liars, every single one with a secret to hide. You know, Poirot notes that the train car is weirdly full for this time of year. It's this strange collection of people from all walks of life, all over the world. You got an American heiress, a Russian princess, an English colonel, an Italian car salesman, you get the idea. And as he starts interviewing them, he realizes one crucial thing. They're all lying.
It turns out, the key to solving this thing isn't really about the suspects, not at first anyway. It's all about unmasking the victim himself.
Yeah, this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Who on earth was this man, Samuel Ratchett, really? And why would someone, or maybe a lot of someone's, want him dead?
Well, that little burnt piece of paper cracks the case wide open. Samuel Ratchett was just a fake name. His real identity? Cassetti.
And that name, Cassetti, carries a horrific story with it. He was a gangster, the mastermind behind a famous crime back in America, the kidnapping and murder of a little girl, Daisy Armstrong. The tragedy was just catastrophic. It destroyed her family. Her pregnant mother died from the shock. Her father took his own life, and an innocent maid who was wrongly suspected did the same. And Cassetti, the man responsible for it all, he walked free. So, armed with this devastating information, Poirot gathers all the suspects together. But instead of pointing his finger at a single killer, he does something truly extraordinary. He offers two possible solutions.
The first theory is the simple one, the clean one. He suggests a mysterious assassin, maybe one of Cassetti's enemies, snuck onto the train, did the deed, and then vanished into the snowstorm. It's a story the police would easily accept, but then there's the second theory, the impossible one. He suggests that every single passenger in that car worked together as a jury and an executioner to give Cassetti the justice he'd escaped years ago. And it all comes down to that number, 12. 12 stab wounds, 12 passengers in the coach, 12 members of a jury. Suddenly, all that contradictory evidence makes perfect, chilling sense. Each wound was from a different hand.
And this is the heart of it all. The secretary's father was the DA on the Armstrong case. The valet was Colonel Armstrong's right-hand man. The governess, the nurse,
Even Mrs. Hubbard, the loud American, is revealed to be Linda Arden, a famous actress, and Daisy Armstrong's grandmother. See? Every passenger had a deep, personal connection to that family, a life that was ruined by Cassetti. They weren't strangers on a train. They were a tribunal, brought together for revenge.
So after presenting both theories, Poirot makes his choice. He announces that the first, simpler theory is the correct one, and he lets all 12 of them go free. Which leaves us with the ultimate question that defines this entire story. In the face of a crime born from such an unimaginable tragedy, did Poirot fail the law, or did he, in this one very unique case, serve a higher form of justice?